In our last segment, we saw how these 20-year-old windows were reaching the end of their life expectancy. And as we completed our assessment, we noticed some of the windows had broken seals, allowing moisture between the glass, while others had dry rot along the wood framing. For our homeowners, it was time for some new windows. So let's once again meet up with Andy Lindus from Lindus Construction to learn more about the window selection process. Oh, it looks like the guys are making some really good progress. They're about ready to tear out the old windows and replace them with the new ones.
Yeah, we're about to be able to show the homeowner what their new windows are going to look like inside the hole.
Well, before we get into the installation process, take us through the selection process. I mean, what windows were selected by this homeowner?
You know, he chose the season guard windows for this process. He wanted a white window on the inside, white on the outside, and energy efficiency was the most important thing for him. And the season guard window was an excellent fit. You know, with us at Lindus Construction, we're able to show people Pella windows, Marvin windows, Anderson windows. There's a season guard window. There's a wide variety of windows we offer. All window manufacturers have their good and bad points about them. It's our job to be able to educate the homeowner to make sure they get the perfect fit for their house.
And with so many different choices out there, are there some certain things or certain characteristics that a homeowner should be looking for when going through the selection process?
Absolutely. You know, from a homeowner standpoint, just from taste and aesthetics, you're going to find windows they like. And from an energy efficiency standpoint, there's a lot of differences between the windows. And we're able to show that to people right inside the house. I actually have a little table set up here. Up here I can show you exactly how we went through the selection process with the homeowner. This is what I was talking about, Stu. We got some of the windows that we're putting in this particular home, and I got some cutaways here of this particular product.
So with so many different windows on the market, and you know, quite frankly, each window looks superior to these old ones. So if I'm out looking at whatever name brand, how am I as a consumer supposed to know if one's better than the other or is right for my situation?
You really have to get into the guts of the window. Picking the aesthetics and how the window looks, that's the easy part. Once you narrow it down, you want to get in the guts of the window and the warranties of the window to make sure it's a good fit for your house.
So Andy, as a consumer, I'm handed a cross-section of a window. What should I be looking at?
You know, just take a look at every aspect of the window. Ask them, why are all these dead air spaces here? What's with the foam here? How are the actual panes of glass sealed together? When the actual glass pack goes into the frame, how is that sealed in there? Ask all those types of questions. Everything that pops out to you, there is no dumb question here to ask. And just to make sure that it's the right window for your house.
Now, what are the answers I should be expecting? I mean, I could ask those questions and get an answer, but what really should I be listening for?
You can see here all the multiple chambers on this type of window. That's all going to add to the insulation factor. You can see the outside chamber is filled with foam. Again, going to add to the insulation factor. Most importantly, how the panes of glass are connected to each other. This is attached using what's called a warm edge spacer. It's a new type of spacer made out of steel, but doesn't actually have a top edge, so the actual cold air is going to have to go down, over, then up, and then instead of straight across like the ordinary window that you see in this house right now.
Okay, so as a consumer, I should be looking for a warm edge spacer, and essentially the difference between them is that this is just one piece going around, doesn't connect on top, whereas this you can see is boxed in.
Exactly, and you want to make sure it's all one piece, unless you want to be dealing with that seal failure again. I mean, look at that. That tweaks a little bit, that's going to come to a crack in the seal, allow this krypton gas to escape the chamber, and you're back to where you were.
Sure, what we saw in our first segment out there, the second story windows especially, they were all fogged up, the seals had broken. Now what about triple painting? Does that really make a difference when we're talking about energy efficiency?
Oh, absolutely. You're adding a whole nother space here, especially with the krypton gas. You're going to get U values of up to 0.1. And that's unheard of in our industry.
And when you say U value, what specifically is a U value?
U value is the way the Energy Star people and different people measure energy efficiencies of a whole window, not just the glass pack, it's the frame, the glass, everything all in one.
And so you want to look for a low or a high U value?
The lower the U value, the better.
Okay, good. So we want to look for that warm edge spacer. Triple pane is something to consider. What other features should I be looking at here?
So this particular window, when you talk about warranties, you and I have gone over this before. We've actually been to this factory and you can see how this window gets put together. It has a lifetime warranty on the finish, lifetime seal failure warranty, lifetime warranty on all moving parts. It actually has a lifetime workmanship warranty. Basically every aspect of the window is covered for them and the next person that owns the house, and that was important to them. They don't know how long they're actually going to be here.
And again, so you want to look at the warranty as well. What about when it comes to like wood windows versus vinyl windows? Is there a difference there? Or, you know, say a wood window, would that have worked equally as well in this situation?
Oh, some of the wood windows that we're putting in nowadays are awesome windows, and that's usually figured out in the initial meeting, and that's an aesthetic thing, what the homeowner is really looking for, and sometimes can be a price point too. So early in the process, we figure out vinyl, fiberglass, wood, and then go from there and then pick the right manufacturer to fit their needs.
Now this is obviously a casement window. Does style come into play, or should it come into play when we're talking casement, double hung, bays and bows?
Oh yeah, every single job, people are going to go from one style to the other, and a lot of times they either change what they have in their existing house or they use more than one style throughout the house.
It's okay to mix and match?
Oh, absolutely. I've shown you some of the guts on the casement window, but say they choose a double hung window. Now you've seen this before. This is the old spindle on a double hung. Remember those windows we tore out a couple years back? Gets all greasy and they stop operating.
Sure.
This is the type of window when you open up, you feel this slam down on you. Sure. That's because the spindle goes bad.
Yeah, not to mention pinch your fingers like crazy.
Exactly, and the next thing they came out was this constant force technology, they called it. These metal bands would bend, and you can see here.
That's exactly what happens.
You can't get it up and down. Now we come to the new technology of the block and tackle type system. You know, these have been tested up to 300,000 uses, and they still work. And that's where you're able to give people a lifetime warranty on all moving parts. It's testing like that that goes into place to make sure it works for the homeowner.
So from a consumer standpoint, you want to look at all these factors. You want to make sure that you can, ask your window professional, can I see inside? Can I see a cross section? Can I look at some of the hardware choices? One thing that we didn't mention were the grids. This particular homeowner had the metal grids or the mutton bars on.
The old windows had the mutton bars, so you wanted to get away from the grids, but we have a wide, you can see here, there's so many grids and options you can choose from, and most importantly, that goes in between the panes of glass. You never have to worry about cleaning around them. Take a look at all that, find the best option for your house, and most importantly, talk about the installation process, because you and I know you can pick the best window out there too. I mean, you can have the Cadillac of windows, and if it's installed wrong, it's not going to work properly.
Well, speaking of the installation process, the guys are probably ready for us. Let's go take a look.
All right.
Stick around. Today's Home Remodeler will continue after these messages.